It's pretty crazy that in today's world, there are a lot of startups. There have been a lot of companies that have gotten some sort of investment over the last few years. And it's scary to think that right now, over 90% of them are going to fail within the next year or two. That's mind-boggling. That's huge. The question is, what separates those who are successful from those that aren't? Now, there's a lot of things that we can go into. I've given some talks on what makes a successful product, what makes a successful company. And a lot of it goes into you have a kick-ass product and people are aware of it, you're easy. There's all these other things. But one of the things that will always cause you issues and be stumbling blocks are the similar mistakes that I see startup founders, whether they're in the open source space or not, make over and over and over again. And as I've talked with people over the last 5 years, I have come to the conclusion that a lot of people struggle with the exact same things. And so what I want to do is I want to talk to you about the 10 most common mistakes that people make that really screw up their chances for a successful startup, whether it is in the open source space or not. Let me go ahead and tell you what those things are. So the first mistake that people make when they're building their startup, when they're founding a new company, it's typically not understanding how they're eventually going to be successful. Building a plan, figuring out how they're going to get where they need to be. It's like going on vacation and not picking the destination. Hey, sometimes it's great to get lost and sometimes you'll end up in some really great places, but a lot of times you might just end up being bored or end up someplace very scary. And so picking the destination and understanding what you're trying to accomplish is super important and critical. And this is a mistake that I see a lot of founders make. Why? I mean, you would think that how did they get money? How did they start up a company without a plan? What we found is, especially the last few years, a lot of investors have been investing in people, not necessarily plans, the passion, the vision, where things are going to go. If you have someone that's passionate, there have been people who have been willing to give money and opportunities to those people to figure it out. And the issue is, do they figure it out or do they spend time in trying to figure it out? There's certain questions that you should be asking people. There's certain key things you should be trying to understand about your business, and you need to be able to answer those. These are high-level things like, hey, how are we going to make money on this? Who is our ideal customer and how are we going to get them interested? What do they want? Can we deliver what they want? Who would we, sell against? These are common questions that a lot of times are overlooked. And because they're overlooked or they can't be answered, it puts the entire startup in a bad place. It makes so any of your employees can't be productive because they don't have the answers to those to run off and do it on their own. So they're going to look to that founder to tell them everything. So make sure you have a plan. Make sure you have the ability to go through and understand how you're going to get where you need to go and where you want to go in the first place. Thank you for checking out this video series. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out the Hacking Open Source Business podcast and look at this channel for other content related to this topic.